Wow, we have huge shifts this month that have the power to give us the solutions that we need and to change our course, really change the course. You're being called to deeply reevaluate important areas of your lives and collectively as a whole, and take responsibility so we can make new choices and live more harmoniously together and with the planet as well. There's an opening to raise your consciousness, and the underlying energy that is going to support you in all of this is you trusting yourself. Hi, I'm Prema Gurreri, Vedic astrologer, author and creator of Your Sacred Wealth Code, and I help you to chart your path, activate your divine high value gifts, and fully aligned with your purpose and passion. And I'm thrilled to be here with you today. This is an important month, May, that we're in. We have 3 retrograde planets this month, big, strong retrograde planets, and I want to demystify that a bit for you because they're strong. It's not bad, and retrograde sometimes gets a bad rap about that. So with so much movement going on, you're going to feel up and down as if you didn't already feel up and down. I mean, come on, the time we're living in right now is incredibly turbulent inside. And especially as things start to open up and we start moving outside again, you're going to need to be able to really trust yourself. So I want to support you with that today. And if you're feeling confused, there's clarity that's going to start to come in, and great decisions aren't made, they're arrived at. So don't try to make choices that aren't clear yet, because the energy will come, and I will tell you when that is to make that clear. So we do have these 3 big retrogrades happening. We have Saturn retrograding on the 10th of May, we have Venus on the 13th, and then Jupiter on the 14th. And the bottom line around that, I'll go into it deeper, but I want you to remember this. May 9th, write this down, May 9th through May 15th, no big decisions. This is like walking on a floor that's shifting, and you need to have your sea legs on because these big energies are slowing down. You're feeling that already. They're stopping, and then they're going to shift in another direction. And you don't want to put extra pressure on yourself during that time. They're trying to push something forward when the landscape is all moving. It's going to create too much stress for you, and things may not be as they appear to be. So you want to let that window of time, the 9th through the 15th, settle out before you make any big choices, or don't put the pressure on yourself to have to do something or that's under a lot of pressure or something really important during that time. Instead, give yourself a little extra time for grounding, for meditation, for focusing on your intentions, or maybe even getting a little bit more clear about your vision and where it is you want to go. So we start this month with an exalted sun. It's already been in Aries for a little while. It's this Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac. And the sun is just personal power, it's strength. And on May 14th, it'll shift into Taurus. But right now, it's super strong and exalted for leadership and individuality. And that's all really great. Like in the Sacred Wealth Code system, we have a leader. And in fact, if you'd like to grab the quiz that's down in the links below and find out what one of your Sacred Wealth Code archetypes is, there's a free link down there below. And the leadership we all need that leadership, but we want to consider the whole and not get too involved in our own individuality, especially during the time that we're in. So this is a very dynamic placement, but be careful to make space for others. It's fine to move your mission forward, but but regard everybody in that as well, okay? When we come to the 4th of May, we have Mars moving into Aquarius. Now what that means is, see, Mars has been exalted in Capricorn, but it's in this push-pull with Mars and Saturn in Capricorn. And so Mars works hard. This is the honorable warrior. This is the strategist and the engineer. And on the 2nd of May, it's actually when it hit its full exaltation. But moving into Aquarius, it's going to have the opportunity to get productive and move forward. So where you have felt like, you're just trying to move something forward, or you want to feel that productivity at the end of the day, and you look back and go, what the heck happened to the day? I mean, hasn't that been happening to you too? I know it's been happening to me. You're going to feel like you can move things forward, and that's going to feel really good. And you want to stay focused on your own goals and your own intentions, because this is a very socially idealistic placement. It's humanitarian by nature, which is great. And this really brings out that sort of social activist energy. We probably will see some activism. We'll probably see some protests. But there'll be some other energy to help balance that out. And I don't think that'll get too out of hand. But this wanting what's good for everyone else is also a bit of rebelliousness too. And that's all fine. But what you want to watch out for is if you start feeling pissy and irritable and volatile, because this is air, and this is Mars is fire, and the sign is air. So it's air feeding fire, and things are combustible. So you're going to feel that within you, however this is personally hitting you. So if you're feeling that, that antsy, that you need to step back, you need to get grounded. Stay focused on your own goals and intentions so you know the higher purpose of what you're working on right now. Don't give in to the fear. And if fear is coming up for you, and you want to, also free in the links below, take part in my releasing fear and balancing your energy. It's a clearing, a class and a clearing. So you can grab the link below for that to take care of that. But stay grounded and stay focused. And when Mars is strong, or Mars is strong for you, but when Mars is strong, you need to make sure that you're exercising, you're breathing deeply, and you're sweating. So if you start to feel irritable, get out for that walk, get your feet on the ground. This is really important because it's good, strong, productive energy, but it can also go in the direction of being too volatile. So watch out for that. Get grounded. We have some really pretty amazing energy coming in. Mercury right now has been in Aries as well, so it's kind of heated up, and Mercury is our intellect. It's the great communicator. It's the business cycle, and you've seen a lot of volatility in the market and business right now as well, and it's too impulsive. So when it comes into Taurus in Vedic astrology on the 9th, and it'll be there till the 25th, it's going to be more stable, more grounded. You're going to be able to evaluate better. So if you have a big choice to make, just give yourself a little bit of time here. You're going to be able to evaluate things much better. You're going to be able to, again, be grounded, be more stable. We have to evaluate and judge to realize what is true for us. I want you to be able to trust yourself, because it's going to be very important. Look, it's always important, but especially in the times we're living in, and especially as things open up and where you want to go and how much you feel comfortable with being out or being with certain people, you need to be able to trust yourself. You need to be able to feel into that and what that feels like. So you've got to be really grounded and really honest with yourself. Now, in order to do that, what I want to invite you to do is you need to know what feels heavy and what feels light. That's a very easy way to tell if something's right for you and something's not wrong with you, and not right for you, I should say, or if you're feeling contracted or expanded. Just those simple things, and especially for you empaths, and I know there's a lot of you listening in, that you need to be able to trust that part of yourself. So you want to do what's right for you. Now, this beautiful opening that we're going to have here is on the 7th of May through the 24th. We have this beautiful aspect, Venus and Mercury together, aspected by Jupiter, and this is going to be like an opening for a rise in consciousness. So I want you to plan for this. I want you to whether it's an artistic pursuit, something creative, some spiritual teaching you want to dig into, some higher knowledge, something that's going to raise your consciousness. You're going to have an opportunity to dive into that and be really supported, and it's going to be fun, and it's going to be wonderful for you. You're going to have to unplug from the media. You're going to have to unplug from the chaos, or you'll miss this window of time. So plan now. What is it that you know that you need to do in order to open up more consciously? That may be a particular teachings. Maybe you need more time in meditation. Again, maybe you need to dive into your creativity. Maybe there's this book that's just been calling you to read. Make a plan to actually do that. Schedule it, get it on the calendar, that Saturn, and using your structured kind of energy so you don't miss this window of time. It's really important. We want to take the grace when it comes. It's like wind in our sails, and we want to know what the energy coming at us is challenging, because there's something in it for us, and if we know what it is, then we can deal with it much better. Saturn's going to go retrograde on May 10th, and this is a big, slow energy. It's going to be this way for 4 months. Now, this happens every year, so it's not out of the ordinary, okay? You deal with this every year. And it happens to be happening in a particular part of Capricorn, a particular lunar mansion that is all about spiritual liberation. Yes, we need spiritual liberation right now. That needs to be a high ideal for all of us, and that's what it's going to take to continue to shift this paradigm. And there's an energy also of the power of protection with this lunar mansion. So this is very, very supportive. It's in a place where it's strong and practical, and we've got persevering and this organizational, structured kind of energy. in order to make the change and do what's needed going forward, we need this kind of energy, and it's good. Now, we are going to be seeing solutions come out of this time because of all these retrograde planets, because of all the shifts happening this month. There's the opportunity for the solutions that we need collectively with this pandemic, but also for you personally. What that's going to take is for you to be able to look at, reevaluate where you have been, reevaluate. And we have this really great opportunity with retrograde planets to take a closer look, to reevaluate, and even to redo some things. We don't get a lot of opportunities to do a redo, but we do with this energy. So I want you to pay attention to that. So you want to reflect on, what you are really committed to, and be really honest with yourself. Get realistic, and number one, take responsibility for any of the choices that you've made. And if they aren't working for you, if you take responsibility for them, you get to make a new choice. You see, Saturn is the planet of truth or consequences. It takes what you believe to be true and puts it under pressure. And if it's true, it comes out a fine gem. But if it's not, it's going to get crushed to dust, and you're going to have to create a new belief system. This is a great time to go back and look over your limiting beliefs. We do that a lot in my Sacred Wealth Circle and Business Academy. Look over the limiting beliefs, and if you keep clearing those beliefs, you're like sweeping the path in front of you so that you can really go up the direction that your soul is wanting to, your purposeful path. So this is where you can also not only be aware of what's working for you and what's not working for you, but we have this, because of where this retrograde is happening, it's where we can sort of let go of our individual goals and really start working with the higher goals, the higher aims, the collective goals. And we've got to all come together. What's best for the highest good? There's what's best for you, and is it good for everyone? If you're really on your purposeful path, and if you're working with truth, what's good for you is good for everyone. Even if they don't like it right at the moment because you are changing. But if you are working with true alignment, what's good for you is good for everyone. And if you're not, what's not good for you is not good for everyone. We are part of the one, we're part of the whole. So your choices matter, each and every one of them. This gives you the opportunity to really dig into some deep research, and we're going to collectively see that too. The deep research will happen to be able to find some of the solutions that we need, where we can go back over things. And it's really good for you to be looking at your limiting beliefs. Where are you holding yourself back on believing something that is not true? Really weighing it against what's really true, and you have to sit with that. I create a lot of clearing processes for my clients around this, because you have to get truthful with, is this my truth now? And where am I just working from habit, from pattern? And that's just not going to fly anymore in this new paradigm. We all have to keep clearing what's in our way. So also, I want to invite you to look back on, what you have come through. Maybe you look back and you say, oh, there's a blessing that came from that bad relationship I had. I can see now, I got the blessing from it. When I lost my yoga center years ago, I know the blessing that I got from that. So there's lessons that you've learned from these things. So look back and start to look at the lessons that you've already learned from the challenges you've gone through, so that you can take that and relate that to right here in this moment. What are you being challenged with? And what's the lesson that's being presented to you? Get curious. The answers are going to come up much easier during this next couple of months. So we have Venus retrograde as well in Taurus. Now, this is our grace. This is harmony. This is a stable place, and it's very artistic and attractive because Venus actually has a centripetal, so let's see if I can say it, centripetal field, where it actually spins opposite and draws things to it. So it has this great magnetizing ability. So it creates stability, it's grounding, and creates harmony, and we need that more than ever. So Venus has been trying to bring us harmony in our homes and relationship, but has really brought harmony, is nurturing harmony with the planet. I mean, we've stepped out of how much interaction we're having with the planet, and it's healing itself before our eyes. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we get to reevaluate, how we interact with the earth now, and how we can continue to nurture that healing. It also is beauty itself, the arts. Lakshmi, which is wealth and knowledge, and again, the arts. So creativity and the arts is a form of communication. You're getting an opportunity with this Venus retrograde to reevaluate, where's harmony in your life. Now this will hit you in a specific part of your chart, but collectively, where's harmony out of balance, and how can you bring that harmony back into balance? How can you redefine your relationship with the earth and your relationship with others in order to bring more harmony? One of the best ways is through appreciation. You see, this is also where we look at our values, and our values are really on the table right now for all of us, because things that we believed before aren't necessarily true. What we value when we have had a lot of things stripped away is maybe shifting now, and it's good for you to come to terms with that. And really what we value in one another. So how you value yourself is how you're able to value another. And just like, how you love yourself is your ability to love another. It's very important for you to get down to the core of how you value yourself, your own worthiness, your enoughness. These are big themes that I support people with, because it is so important that you do really value yourself, and this is what knowing your divine gifts really helps you to do. Then you can value others. Now, and also value the earth and the ways that you value the earth, and maybe the ways you need to shift your values in the way that what you do, how it affects the earth. These are all big themes that are up for us to make some new choices around. One of the great things to work with here as far as appreciation goes, appreciation adds value. So if you're appreciating yourself, you're adding value to yourself. If you're appreciating another, thank you. You're adding value to that other. If you're appreciating the earth, you add value to it. Take on an appreciation practice this month. Write a simple thing that you appreciate about yourself, or speak it about others on a daily basis. What you appreciate about this earth, you add value to it, and it'll help you to see what your true values are. Our final retrograde is Jupiter retrograde on May 14th. And this is really is pointing at reevaluating our beliefs. Jupiter is this great guru planet. It's the visionary, the teacher, the sage. It looks at the big pictures, has big inspirations. Saturn helps bring that down to earth. And they're together now in Capricorn, in this very stable, reorganizing place right now, creating new structures. And it's not the most comfortable place for this Jupiter energy, but it's getting down and getting practical. And the retrograde is really looking over what inspires us. What are we believing in? Is this actually sustainable? Is it really true for you? Is it true for us as a collective and where we're going? We have to get strategic and understand what we're even believing in order to make some new choices about that. What inspires you? What are the, what are the teachings? What are the schools of thought that you subscribe to? Go back to the basics, to the fundamentals, and you must listen to what's true for yourself. So examining your beliefs and the collective beliefs. Which beliefs are you hooking into? Making some new choices around that, and building the structures and the systems to actually live those beliefs differently. So this is a placement, of course, that rules governments and big organizations, but again, your choices matter. How you restructure yourself, your life, your beliefs absolutely matters. We have this amazing window of time here. You must be clear about what's true for you, and you must trust yourself in this time. One of the best ways to trust yourself is to tune into your heart on a regular basis. Go with what your heart wants for you and put that into inspired action. It is so important, because if you're not sure, if you're feeling, I don't know if that's for me, or if something's feeling heavy, or something's contracted, give yourself a little time examining your beliefs around it, because you need to be able to trust yourself in what you go out and do right now. Are you going to partake in going out, or going to a certain place, or being with? Allow the restrictions that have been put on you, and as they come off of you, you need to trust yourself on what feels right for you. This way you're empowered with your own truth, your own decisions, and you're telling yourself the truth. Incredibly important. So much love to you. Like, subscribe, share this if it's been useful for you. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my updates and you know how to work with this energy and chart your path going forward. And go ahead and check those links below for those free gifts for you. So much love to you.